manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very good.
Some of Hermès products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
It was my first time shopping at Hermès, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Made in Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to...
For everyone at Hermès is officially in a state of panic. The entire fashion industry is in astonishment over the luxury giant's lawsuit against the same Chinese manufacturers who just revealed their billion-dollar secret. These companies weren't merely producing knockoffs. They were also responsible for creating the bags. For 20,000. The same Birkins and Callie's are incredible. But now they're revealing to the world the true story behind these French-made labels. Let's just say it's not what you believe. With dubious production methods to viral and insider receipts, the luxury illusion is being exposed by the TikTok incident. And Hermès is frantically trying to stem the bleeding. But the truth is out, and the harm is already done. So let's start with the lie that caused everything to begin years ago. Hermès has promoted the idea of handcrafted bags made by French artisans and Parisian workshops. You might imagine a person wearing a white coat stitching leather by candlelight while listening to mellow jazz music.
Finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Up to 80% of these supposedly French luxury bags are built in China. Not disassembled, we're talking about the leatherwork, the sewing, the thread, and the cutting according to insiders and Tanner Leatherstein's receipts. Completed elsewhere. Then Hermès takes the goods and puts a button or stamp in France. Which is the trick. Hermès lost it when the Chinese factory began disclosing the truth and displaying invoices.
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France.
The luxury whistleblower is not just any guy on TikTok. He is a leather expert with a cult following who purchases designer bags and literally opens them on camera to reveal what's inside. He was the first to expose Chanel for using cheap plastic-coated leather instead of real gold hardware. It's targeted. Louis Vuitton, Bulgari, Veneta, Hermès, and Tanner, demonstrating that the leather quality of these bags is no better than that of a $100 fake. He also revealed that the cost of making a Birkin bag, including high-quality leather and metal hardware, is approximately $600, not $14,000 or $38,000.
And over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Now picture our maze as we watch all of this happen. Watch videos go viral and realize that the gig is up because Chinese manufacturers weren't just creating fakes. They were actually creating the real thing for Hermès. Then they blew the whistle and disclosed that 80% of the work is done in China, with only the finishing touches added in France. And Hermès makes money off the appearance of French luxury while concealing the actual labor.
Almost finish the bags from China factories, back to their own factories, and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that.
What? Then does Hermès do? Do they acknowledge their mistake and provide an apology without resorting to legal action? Hermès essentially says, how dare you tell people our bags don't actually come from France? as it sues many Chinese firms for defamation and intellectual property infringement. The worst part is that luxury companies have contracts with these same Chinese producers, lawfully making bags. But now that they've come forward, Hermès is behaving as though they've just discovered these factories. So let's do the arithmetic. Millions of bags were sold in 2024, generating $15.2 billion in income for Hermès. If it takes 2 days to create a single Birkin, where is this secret crew of French workers producing them all by hand? The numbers don't add up, and it's dishonest. Hermès isn't the only company doing this. Prada, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are also doing it. They will manufacture 98% of the product in China and then have a button or zipper made in Italy, so they can legally put a Made in Italy tag on it. Is a marketing ploy. And because European labels are seen as prestigious, customers have been falling for it.
Bags are from Sitong Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
People are realizing that they paid $25,000 for a bag that was made in the same factory as a $400 fake, and is more. People discover the truth. Resale prices are beginning to decline. Towners is exposing these bags that purport to be full of calf skin, but are actually made of poo-coated leather, which is upsetting collectors and buyers because if Hermès isn't truly about quality or craftsmanship, then what exactly did they purchase the brand for? The biggest misconception Western luxury labels have given us is that Chinese leather goods are of inferior quality. However, modern Chinese manufacturers make top-notch leather goods because they have the necessary resources, expertise, and equipment. Actually, luxury businesses produce their goods in the same factories as knockoffs and mid-range brands. They simply label the finished product differently. There are several accounts of customers receiving factory extras without branding that are identical to the $1,000 bags. So just because a bag is made in China doesn't imply it's garbage. It might even be better than anything created in France. One creator claimed to have $5 UGG boots from the same manufacturer as the authentic ones, with the only branding difference being that they were unlabeled.
Making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surf.
Western media has conditioned people to believe that Europe is high class and China is. But when you look at it closely, it's all marketing. These companies are privately held businesses that sell expensive goods to people who simply don't know any better. And now that consumers are starting to realize this, the industry is in a panic. Tanner Leatherstein works for no company and isn't trying to sell you anything ostentatious. Instead, he shows you his work, breaks down the materials, and even rips open his own $1,800 wallet collection to show you what you're really getting and what always disappointed him.
So those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special, but it feels truly exceptional.
However, if celebrities didn't flaunt their designer labels like trophies, they wouldn't be where they are today. You could assume that they were purchasing Chanel and Birkins for fun, but the majority of them are either compensated or given gifts to wear these bags. We refer to it as strategic placement. Cardi B received a $60,000 purse from the brand, and after she shared it on Instagram, all influencers and aspiring fashionistas were vying for one. Although you may believe you're purchasing luxury, what you're actually purchasing is celebrity endorsements.
It's as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my.
Let's not forget that time that Kylie Jenner posted an amazing Minds bet. How many of those were even bought with their own coin? And even if they were, Were they even made in France or a back room in Shenzhen 90R Vite?
Where I keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house was on fire, I would...
To them, and influencers are now doing the grunt labor as well. It's not just celebrities anymore. Unboxing videos of luxury hauls abound. On TikTok and Instagram, most of which are PR drops or brand partnerships. These creators are creating Rax advertising bags without paying to promote the idea that you need a designer bag to be someone.
Box my latest Hermès bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
Since you saw it on your FYP. The brands are laughing all the way to the bank by selling $600. Bags for $26,000. But let's talk about the whole Birkin trap. At some point, owning a burqa became the ultimate status symbol. But the worst part is that Hermès doesn't even allow anyone to buy one. You have to build a purchase history, which means spending thousands on scarves and belts before they even give you the opportunity to possibly get one. This isn't luxury. It's a luxury cult, and people are lining up to join.
I say to you, no, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be a Hermès customer. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand, and then you can only buy one per year.
Not to mention the resale market, where people were buying and selling Birkin bags like real estate a few years ago. However, since Tanner went public with the factory leaks, prices have been rapidly declining. The exclusivity is phony, the craftsmanship is dubious. And the bags are manufactured in the same factories as counterfeits? Why would anyone still pay full price? Investors and resellers are sweating, and people are afraid that these opulent bags may not be as profitable as they previously were.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etain, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etain is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's white stamp, which means it's 2021.
For now, here's something else real wild. Many celebs and influencers actually rock dupes, but still tag the real brands. Why? Well, to stay in the trend game without burning a hole in their pocket. Some insiders even claim stylists will buy fakes, tag brands for clout, and get invited to Fashion Week because of the illusion. Yes, y'all, the system rewards the illusion, not the authenticity.
Wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack, and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag is fake.
A few years ago, Birkin bags were being bought and sold like real estate in the resale market. However, prices have been dropping sharply ever since Tanner made the plant leaks public. Why would someone still pay full price if the bags are made in factories that also produce fakes? The exclusivity is fake, and the craftsmanship is questionable. People are worried that these luxury bags might not be as profitable as they once were, and investors and resellers are sweating.
Real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as it. This shit is $23 on Amazon.
Who is actually winning here? The brands are still making money, the celebrities are still getting checks, or the influencers are still receiving PR boxes and invitations to events. And you are the one paying a month's rent for a label that was sewn in China based on hype created by celebrities who didn't even pay for it. This is where things get really crazy though, because Hermès isn't just panicking behind closed doors anymore. They are waging a full-scale legal battle against them. Indeed, the company is now purportedly suing Chinese manufacturers that were responsible for their exposure, and these lawsuits aren't isolated incidents. Could not have come at a worse time for them, as global brands have been forced to show their hand ever since the US cracked down with those aggressive tariffs against Chinese imports. Guess what? Hermès is one of the brands that might be hit the hardest, because when the majority of your so-called French craftsmanship is coming from Shenzhen factories, you have a big problem. According to both reports, Hermès is targeting multiple factories that dared to speak out and is trying to slap them with claims like defamation and